On this week's episode, we talk about Fletcher.
And other pop culture news.
So, this past week... Oh, does this count as a Retina Remake Review or...
Probably, yeah. I mean,
Almost.
it's a reboot, remake.
Yeah.
Reboot.
Revisiting?
It's definitely an R.
Yeah.
It's not rated R, is it? No, I don't think
No.
so. Yeah, maybe. How Hollywood is loose with F's and S's and T's and G's and
Oh, wow.
M's and
You're bringing up words I didn't
N's
even
and-
know.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure. Note to myself: future book dictionary of curse words. Yeah, gonna sell out.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Cursing AF.
yes, there you go. So it might be because of language, but this one there's no violence. I think the old ones probably have more than the new ones.
This really had a lot of nudity.
A lot? Like
A
what?
fair amount of...
They have sex. That's it, right?
Yeah, but there were several boobs.
What on this new one?
Not in the new one, no. In the old ones.
Okay.
Maybe we should tell them what we're actually talking about.
Yes.
Whew.
Yeah. What pornographic
spin-off.
piece we're talking about? Actually, not. We're talking about the comedic piece. Chevy Chase's favorite movie, because according to him, he could be himself in it.
I could see that.
Fletcher. So, as you know, or maybe you don't,
I didn't.
there's an original Fletcher with Chevy Chase. There's a Fletcher, what's it called? Returns?
Probably.
Fletcher's back?
I can look that up.
Yeah,
while
look
you,
that up.
While you regale
Also
the crowd.
with Chevy Chase.
Uh-huh.
And the third one, this one, the original two are from the 80s. 80s classics, cult lovers, no, what they call
Cult classics.
cult classics. The new one is fairly new. It was released this year, and it's not with Chevy Chase, but with John Hamm, and it's called Fletcher. Confess, Fletcher.
Yeah, okay. So we got all of those wrong. The first one is just called Fletch. The
Yeah,
character's name, you've been saying Fletcher.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
Fletcher
so
is
there's
his
Fletch.
actual name, but he tells everybody to call him Fletch.
Yeah, hence the confusion. So Fletch came out in 85. In 89, the sequel Fletch Lives. And then this year, Confess, Fletch,
Yes,
with John Hamm taking the title role.
they're all based on books from the series books we didn't read before we watched the movie. We're probably not gonna watch.
Nah, I'm good.
We're probably not gonna read series, with many others. And this new movie is actually takes place on the second book, the book after the first movie. So it's all there. It's like James Bond books, they all over in order, but they stand alone. They make sense. With in the case of James Bond, few exceptions. Yeah.
So the common thread throughout all of the Fletch films is obviously the character Fletch. He's an investigative reporter. So we have the whole journalism, investigating, a dash of private eye, film noir-esque
Very noir.
shenanigans
Yeah.
going on.
But very comedic. His name is Erwin M. Fletch. I am Fletch, which they made a joke on this
Yes.
one, which I thought it was a missed opportunity on the original one.
It was.
Or maybe they didn't. I missed. No, I didn't miss. They missed. Anyways, Chevy Chase on his prime. The movie is funny, is light, even though the themes are very noir, dark
Yeah,
noir.
lots of murder,
Yeah.
embezzling, scams, all that good stuff, theft. Yeah, all that. But it is funny. But it's a very specific type of humor that Chevy Chase was very good at, and I think why John Hamm is such a good heir to the character.
It worked really well with him. There was
Sarcasm, the cynicism.
There was a lot of rumors and a lot of tentatives in the past that they wanted to make this a new Fletch movie, and they wanted Ed Helms to be Fletch, which personally, comparing him to Chevy in another instance where he, quote, took over Chevy's original role, the role of Clark Griswold.
That's
on
right,
the
Family Vacation.
National Lampoon's Vacation series. Ed Helms took over that role and became not Clark Griswold, but actually Rusty
Yes, good
Griswold on the reboot sequel.
It was a reboot. Yeah, it was a sequel.
What's the difference?
A reboot would be like, we're going to do this again.
Yeah, that's what they did.
Oh, I guess it is. Yeah. Never mind.
Anyways, so Chevy has had as Clark Griswold. He had that kind of naivete, kind of like it's like, oh, let's go family.
Yeah.
And
the lovable dork who's not really reading the room.
Yeah, it's like, but he does in a way that you laugh about it. You laugh at him. With Ed Helms, it's kind of like, I don't know, I see Andy Bernard cry. And it's like, this is not funny. It's kind of like, I don't know if you have the same feeling.
Not totally, but he is definitely one of those actors. Some people can do a TV show like that and then come out and do all kinds of other work, and some people are just stuck in that role.
Yeah.
For example, like Julia Louis-Dreyfus versus what's his name?
I don't know. Who is
George Costanza.
Oh, Jason Alexander.
Yeah. Yeah, like Jason Alexander is always going to be George. I see him in other things. It's like, George. I see him playing as himself. Like, George. So, or like Jennifer Aniston is really the only one of the friends to like truly come out and have. Anyway, I feel like that happened to Ed Helms. I'm always going to see Andy Bernard.
And he's the kind of idiot. There's like, it's kind of more on the pathetic side, and with Clark Griswold, Chevy Chase is more like there's some funny things there, but it could happen to you. It's like, with Ed Helms, the things that happened to him was like, this idiot, like getting married when he was on Roofie on Hangover. I was like. Yeah. Anyways, moving on from Helms. Luckily, they didn't get him. They got John Hamm, and he was great as the Fletch. I don't know if the movie made a lot of buzz, a lot of money, but I could see they making more. Because again, it's a standalone, and they could create a whole new case, a whole new story, and from a book or not, and it would work.
Yeah, and the case was interesting. There was a good mystery, good whodunit. There's like art theft and murder and just all the classics are there. I didn't think it was as funny, which is kind of a waste because we know like John Hamm is well established as a very funny man. And I feel like they didn't take advantage of that, and so I didn't like this one. I didn't think it was as strong as
well, but again, you're going against a titan of industry, Chevy Chase. But I don't know. It felt like, and for me, I'm not a big fan of narrators. Sometimes I think it's kind of ridiculous.
Sure.
We just start watching Dexter, and Dexter's like, "You're Dexter Morgan."
Yeah, narration.
Kind of like, dude,
it's
your room.
It's a good tool, but it comes off as so cheesy sometimes.
It is super cheesy.
Like I almost laughed out loud. I may have laughed out loud when we went to see the Batman, and he's like, "I'm a creature of the night." I'm like, "Oh my gosh!"
But
dork.
But with Chevy worked perfectly. The whole noir thing. I don't know how the book is, but this is very noir. To guy narrating is like, and this girl came to my office and she was wearing red, and that kind of thing. It's not the original, but it works.
There were a lot of opportunities for comedy there too.
Exactly,
the narration included a lot of jokes, especially when there'd be dissonance between what we saw on the screen versus what he was narrating and stuff like that. It was good. Yeah. I just didn't think they gave John Hamm that many opportunities.
And that's what I'm saying. Narrated could help him because the whole the whole when he go hire kids to make a painting. That whole thing is like it's not funny. It is funny, but it's not funny, and it only makes sense at the very, very end of the movie, and it's like, so they definitely missed opportunities to be more funny.
Yeah, and I'm gonna blame that on the writers' room because like we said, John Hamm, we know
No, he was good.
the man is so funny. He was brilliant in 30 Rock. We just saw him on Curb Your Enthusiasm against Larry David.
The one that he's the code leader.
Oh my gosh! Yes.
Amy Schmidt, is that?
Yeah.
Kimmy Schmidt.
The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. Whew, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, the man's hysterical. So if they gave him good material, he could definitely stand up next to Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, he one day he might get there. Not yet, but he's good. Chevy is like, there's like reports from, I think it was the kid from, if you watch the original Vacation, the scene, it changed. Apparently, there's this famous story about how they get the park is closed, and they will go kidnap the owner of the park. You know, like they would kidnap Disney, but they would kidnap Wally. Is that Wally World?
Yeah.
Yeah. So World. So they, but then they scratch that. I can't remember his name. Jeez. Anyways, Hughes. Yeah, Hughes.
John Hughes.
John Hughes.
Yeah.
John Hughes crashed that. So they did. I think they shot the ending. Yeah.
They did, and I think it was the test audiences who were furious.
Yes.
Like, absolutely not. This family needs to get there. So then they had to go back and do reshoots. By this time, Anthony Michael Hall had gone through a lot of puberty.
Yeah.
And it was basically
there was a window of time. There was a lot of time in between. The movie was done, and then they call back, say, hey, you need to do it again.
Enough time for Anthony Michael Hall to, like, grow 6 inches, break out, like... so if you pay attention to the roller coaster, it's basically a different human being.
Yes, yeah, different head, different face. And Anthony Michael Hall said once that Chevy was like, he was Chevy all the time. He was like ironic, sarcastic, and he even joked about it. Puberty, huh? So so he was that kind of funny, even annoying person. Yeah. That's why he got like banned from SNL, but never mind about that.
Bit of a reputation.
John Hamm on the Fletch Confess. What else about Fletch Confess?
I mean, we can't say too much about it without giving anything away. Just that despite that whole tangent we just went on, it is entertaining. It is funny. If you are into the genre, the whole whodunit, mystery, conspiracy thing, noir thing, it is really fun.
Yeah, it's an interesting follow up, especially considering that nowadays we live on times that you need to make, not today you need, in a lot of circumstances, creators are forced to be funny but not being funny, because if you open your mouth you're gonna offend 300 people plus their grandmas. So considering that,
I can't believe you would say that about grandmas.
Huh?
See? I can't believe you would
there
say
you go.
that.
And now I'm gonna receive emails from grandmas everywhere. Yeah. Get it together, grandma. Anyways, so considering all that, is an interesting update. Is not bad. It has flaws. Considering that some stuff, it's considering the intended, they wanted to make a comedy, even though on those circumstances, there's some stuff that it's like, I know you're trying to be funny, but come on, give me more. It's like you're missing.
Yeah.
But all things considered, it's not bad. In comparing with the classic, the original Fletch movies are still really funny. They're still good. They have, you have to see Chevy at his prime, the 80s soundtrack, the
oh man, I'm so glad
leading
that
ladies.
soundtrack trend is done. The like overly synthesized, overly energetic and upbeat. Like, oh, it's so bad. It's so distracting.
Yeah.
I don't miss that at all.
Anyways, yeah. What else? Anything else about Fletch?
If you can only watch one Fletch movie, go watch the first one,
The first
original.
one, definitely.
And if you like it, watch the rest. But,
Yeah.
But if you can only watch one, watch that. Watch that original. Yeah.
And yeah, that's it. Fletch. And Fletch, what's the name of the second?
Fletch Lives, Confess
Fletch and Fletch Lives are available on Peacock. I hope it's on Peacock because now I'm saying it's on Peacock. On Peacock. And Fletch. Confess Fletch is available on Showtime.
Oh.
I hope it's on Showtime.
Okay.
Anyways, they don't pay us for that, so if it's not, Google it. But hey, some good options I can't say if it's good or bad. Let's just call it interesting adaptations.
There we go.
That
entertaining,
became famous, entertaining, and became world famous. Yeah.
Okay. All right, we finished a couple of great TV series or seasons this week. First, The Crown on Netflix.
The Crown season.
Is it 5?
5. I won't say it's 5.
I want to say it's 5.
Yeah.
So
it's like 2 Claire Foys, 1
so sorry. Shoot.
Olivia Colman.
Yes.
No, so this
Does she have 2?
What this was before? No, she had 2.
Hold, please. Well, this season we had the.
It's about the royals in England and the entitlement of things. Some of the stuff is
spectacular.
There's definitely some history, interesting facts. On this one, less. I don't know. Maybe because a lot of this stuff happened, if not in my lifetime, but close enough that I learned from hearing recent news or that kind of thing, different than knowing. I mean, learning from back in the day, season 1 and stuff that one I didn't hear.
Right.
But so less history on this one. Also, the Queen is getting old. To the point that I don't know if it was on purpose. I don't know if it's because of age. I don't know if right decision, but she's there. She doesn't go anywhere. There was no important action from her in this season, right?
That's true. Yeah, this season most of the action so Imelda Staunton takes over the role. Claire Foy had 2 seasons. Olivia Colman had 2, and now it's Imelda Staunton. And Dominic West is filled in for Charles. But this season, the Queen had a much more passive role. Not necessarily like in the actual events of what the season covered, but the storyline focused for the most part on Charles and Diana.
Because even on the previous season, even though she wasn't the active person on certain actions, but because Margaret Thatcher was such an important character and such an important real life character, and on the show as well. So when things need so they kind of interact more. And on this one, she interacts with John Major, the new Prime Minister, but to the point that's like, oh, my son and his wife having a problems. Go fix it. Oh
my gosh.
It's like, seriously, it's like telenovela, British version.
It felt... Yeah, and I was very young when these real life events happened, so I remember all this happening, but I don't remember many details. But if this portrayal of John Major and what he dealt with is anything close to the real life John Major, like, respect for that man, he did not get paid enough to deal with what he had to deal with.
So, and everything that the Queen dealt with was nothing war-changing or life-changing for her.
Yeah.
For anything. I mean,
like her Annus
she had to go
Horribilis,
through
the whole like Windsor, the fire at Windsor, the divorces, all that. It was a lot more personal and less like about the realm and the empire and
and from the previous seasons, it's like her activity, meaning her active role was like falling, and she stays there. Like, I guess it's the state of monarchies, modern monarchies these days, and especially British monarchy. They have a parliament that does everything, so they're so it's very, very passive, which brings me a question. As monarchies, didn't we already have enough of the crown? They're gonna make more? They're gonna make more.
It's getting uncomfortable because this is recent history. A lot of these people are still alive, and they have a kid playing William, and we're seeing a very young, like a 13-year-old Prince William, and how he's dealing with the fallout between like his mother, and how he's kind of stuck between his mother and his granny and his father and Camilla, and it's starting to feel really uncomfortable and voyeuristic versus like a historical documentary or not documentary, but like historical fiction.
Yeah, that doesn't really the whole fact that they're real life, it doesn't bother me, and I assume it doesn't bother many people, because reality shows were never so big as they are. People like to watch other people real life, real time. For me, the problem is the lack of let me put it this way. One of the big stories on the news, even in other countries, even in America, even down in Brazil, was the whole you had the quote love story. He marries Diana, the princess, the wedding of the century, you might call it that. And okay, forget about that. That was last season. On this season is the tragedy. That thing's gonna fall apart. The marriage is gonna be destroyed, or always was, and it finally gonna end. So that ends with this season. That's not a spoiler, because come on, that's real life. That is gonna end with this season. So what are they gonna tell next season? So Diana dies. So let's say they do 5 episodes of that. 5, or 2 before she dies, and 1 and 2 after. They still have 5 more episodes to finish the season. It's like, what did they go?
Yeah.
Skip time and go to the kids, William, Harry, and Kate.
Pippa is her sister.
And what's the name? Megan. Yeah. So they're gonna skip time and do that. I mean, I don't know. If anything, morbid or not, it's actually creatively very convenient that the Queen died, because they can end the show once the Queen die. But how they gonna get from where they stop to there and make it interesting? That will be a task.
Yeah, because I think also the the drive and the curiosity behind the show is really changing for me, because now like I remember all this stuff. So it's less like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened, to like, oh yeah, that's okay, that's the thing that happened. Okay.
And then comes next for the Queen. It's a lot of death. So Diana, Philip, her mother, still gonna have to die. She's still alive on the show. So yeah. Yep.
Margaret
dies. Yeah, she's dead. I didn't know that. Okay. What? There's I read somewhere that they kind of blame the lack of stars on this one. For it's the series is falling a little bit on their numbers, and they blame the lack of star. Last season they have Olivia Colman, they had Gillian Henderson. I mean, very, very good portrayals. So in this one they have the Queen.
They have Imelda Staunton, Dominic West.
Yeah, but I don't know, to portray Charles as like he's such a You can put a donkey there. Anyways.
Honestly, something that surprised me about this is how favorably they portrayed, how sympathetic they were to Charles. I feel like they went out of their way to show Charles as like a decent human who's like just put in impossible circumstances, which is not totally far off, but it was interesting to see that. And how unsympathetic Diana seemed. Like, they wrote her very flat and boring. Like, every other line out of her mouth was like, oh, the royal family just doesn't like me. Everybody hates me. They're tapping my phone. Like, they portrayed her as, like, whiny, complaining, and paranoid instead of someone who was, like, really suffering. Which, I don't know, I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
By the end of the season, like, if this was Diana, I was not a huge fan.
Yeah.
We didn't really get to see all the good stuff she was doing. We didn't see her as a mother. We just saw her like,
yeah.
He won't give me millions of pounds.
Yeah. I guess that woman, like that man, tell no tales. And you can talk a lot of trash about a king, right? Because he's
this
actually
is
that
America.
guy.
He's not our king.
I don't know. Is the show genuinely American?
That's a good question. It is a Netflix show. Netflix is not a British company.
Yeah, but Netflix produces shows everywhere.
That's true.
Anyways, The Crown. Enough of The Crown.
Saying.
No, Death to All Kings. Anyways, yeah. The Crown available on Netflix all seasons.
Yeah.
If you, I don't know. Last season was in the beginning. It felt like let's watch this, but there's enough. But then Margaret Thatcher, and then the Queen, and of course they always had like Charles there, and Diana a little bit, and Camilla.
Mm-hmm.
It was like they were like invading your screen, but you still had the other interesting characters and the other interesting stories. On this one, it's like they took over. And
it doesn't feel escapist. It doesn't feel like a fantasy anymore. It doesn't feel like history anymore. It just feels like, ugh.
Yeah. And
Rich,
apparently it's offending a lot of people.
Divorce.
As the new norm is offending a lot of people because this is fictionalized. This is not true. Okay, I don't know. And I don't care. The Crown, available on Netflix.
Okay, this week also saw the series finale of Stargirl. This was the CW show that started on HBO Max, yeah?
No, it was HBO Max? No, DC Universe.
Oh, yeah.
The DC Universe, the DC streaming platform. They had a few shows, and they had plans to do more, but then the Warner decides no, and they had shows and they had comic books, and they decided no, they're only gonna stay for comic books. Let's move the shows to
CW.
To HBO Max, but one moved to CW, but it kept the same standards, the same quality, 10 episodes, short and sweet, and well done. And the last season was the same.
Yeah.
With a little bit more of highs, So it was the same, but a little bit better in some aspects.
Yeah, I am sad to see this go. I guess I say all the time though, I'd rather see a show end while it's good than get dragged out too long. So they definitely did that here.
Yeah.
But it's still sad to see it go.
Yeah, imagine next season.
They could have gotten another season.
Huh?
I think they had another good
season.
No.
Imagine the next season. You have the whole romance. They're going to drag their romance for 10 more seasons like they did to Clark and Lana, Lois, whatever.
Just one more. But yeah. No, you're right. So it's sad to see it go, but I'm glad it didn't get dragged out to where I didn't like it anymore.
The scope of the show, it's I don't know how they develop, because like Smallville, the show stayed in Blue Valley, Nebraska, and it was like hometown, small town, the problems there, and it feels like at that end of this season they cleaned. There was no more problems.
That's true. They did do a good job wrapping it up.
So
yeah.
But anyways.
Overall, I think it was a good show. I thought this was a rare case where teenagers were written well and written like age appropriately. Courtney was delightful, and I was happy to have my daughters watch her and all that. It was just like really good. They were like positive, healthy teenage parent relationships. step-parent, stepchild relationship. There's a lot of really good stuff happening on this. So it's well worth going back to watch it if you haven't seen it yet. And they definitely did a excuse me. They did a Peter Jackson with the ending that this episode ended like
they
five
marched up
times.
peacefully and with several endings. Is that what they did?
Yeah, like ends, screen black. And then, but
9 months later.
Fine. Yeah.
10 years later. Some shows do that. Like Veep did that. It was kind of crazy. Like decades later, she was retired and she got it. Anyways, go watch Veep. It's over on HBO.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so Stargirl is over. I was sad to see it go. I think it's one of the best things we've seen since like the early days of the Arrowverse. And,
is it?
Well, yeah, that's
but
true.
it's definitely it wasn't planned. It wasn't a planned ending, and it was canceled, but it ended well. It ended as it height. First of all, high school. How many years of high school?
Only 4.
4. So they could only have one more. Because then it's like the gang moves to
I know,
Nebraska
and then they have to make
State.
up. Yeah.
And it's like we saw that in Smallville. Clark moved to I can't remember what university he freaking go, but he and he's never there. Just like no one single episode like college
He's not in
episode
Smallville, yeah.
is either in Smallville or in Metropolis. So yeah.
Or like what they did on the Goldbergs, where we spent a whole season getting Adam into college, and the next season, oh, never mind, I'm not going to college.
Yes.
No!
Yeah,
oh man, I'm still annoyed about that.
But so there's these problems. So they could have one more year, but the threats on this one was so big, and they got rid of it. So to get bigger than that, it'll be tough. But it ended well because like all the shows, namely The Flash, it started really well, really strong, and then they would they start giving more opportunities and more chance to Iris, and then Team Flash start becoming Team Iris. And
you know what? Iris is not the problem. You keep blaming this on Iris. She's not the one who's ruining the show. That episode died so long ago. They're like Weekend at Bernieing this show.
So,
like it's dead, and they put sunglasses on it and are like parading it around.
So Iris show. I mean, The Flash. You know, it's like the more it lives, the more it's like. Anyways,
I am genuinely disappointed and angry when they announced a season renewal for The Flash. I was getting to that point with the Arrow. No, guys, it's done. We're done. Let it go.
We're not even finished last season yet because it's so.
You know what? I don't care. It's really okay. I just don't want to watch it. For me, it's over.
Yeah.
So it's good that they ended Stargirl here. They had a really nice little epilogue where someone was talking about the adventures of the JSA. They ran through the things they did in the first couple seasons, mentioned a couple other things that I imagine the writers were going to had on deck for the next season that never happened. So it was a nice way to wrap it all up. And anyway.
Yeah. and so that's it. Stargirl, over 3 seasons, available to, I guess you can buy anywhere. And CW has some episodes. I'm sure Netflix has it yet, but HBO, I don't know. Anyways, check it out.
Okay, let's talk about the box office. Top Gun Maverick has been named the best film of 2022.
Yeah, and
surprised?
No. I just saw this meme because there was a popular vote, whatever, and the meme was Giancarlo Esposito sitting, and he was Top Gun Maverick, and then there's someone behind him, and that person was Something Everywhere All the Time and all at once, whatever. Don't quote me on that.
Everything Everywhere.
Yeah, there you go. And the other side was the Batman, and they gave the award for whatever movie to Doctor Strange. It was just like, anyways, but again, bots.
Yeah, no, that doesn't make sense at all. Top Gun, yeah, I think that's fair. It certainly out-earned everybody.
Yeah,
and was just a really wonderful film, as we just keep saying, because they keep proving it. The fall box office, however, not so great.
Yeah, as expected, it didn't do well. Even if Black Panther doing good, not doing great, but even doing good didn't help. And even if it had done great, probably wouldn't help. It was the worst compared to the last year, 2021. So, we still were like kind of getting out of the pandemic, or more or less, or so. Anyways, it was, yeah.
Yeah. In the meantime, the stock bump that Disney got when they announced Bob Iger's return as CEO didn't last.
Yeah, go broke. The whatever plans they cooking, whatever they trying to fix, the whole crazy agendas of the transing kids and preaching crappy stuff to on their shows. They brought Bob Iger, which for some people signaling that they would go back to good old Disney and forget politics and ideologies. It didn't work. So the stocks got a bump, but it went back down.
Yeah.
And of course, there you can blame that on the economy, on Biden inflation and all that too. But on stocks, getting that bump, significantly bump, and then lose it right away. Anyways,
it's not great.
And layoffs, and with that layoffs, the Disney layoffs and the whole media sector. I just read that, like, who cares? But the New York Times, I think 2,000, something like 10,000. A lot of people there going on strike.
Really?
Yeah. And all union members on strike. So there's this whole mess on the media, because in certain ways they refuse to accept. They still on the pedestal to accept that there's other medias out there. It's not only what they do. There is. And from the top to bottom, from bottom to top, it's a whole crisis.
Yeah. So sorry about this cough. As if the crisis is not bad enough, Disney Animation has lost the box office to Universal.
3 years in a row?
Yeah.
3 years in a row.
That's several years.
Yeah, so they cannot win. And again, it's part of what they offer, what they sell. It has questionable quality, plus ideologies they put on shows that back in the day you can put a kid just okay, watch this movie. Disney. I was just watching Aladdin with my girls. Fun, entertaining, message, beautiful music. Which brings me a question: who was the first Disney villain to sing? Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick. Aladdin was before Ursula, wasn't it?
But just Jafar sing.
Does he sing? Yeah.
What does he? Oh yes, he does.
He does a
was
version.
Aladdin
Before Ariel?
Ariel?
Was it? I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I'm thinking about my Halloween costumes and when I was obsessed with each movie.
I don't know.
I think Ariel was first.
Was it?
I think Little Mermaid was first.
Yeah, but the old classics like Snow White, Cinderella, those villains don't sing, right?
They don't. Maleficent has incredible dialogue, but she doesn't sing.
Okay.
And then
never mind. Pinocchio.
Sing.
Oh no, she's not a villain. Never mind. Okay. Anyways, just came to mind because I say, maybe Jafar is the first one to sing.
I don't think so. I'm pretty
because
sure.
After that, then you have Jeremy Irons on Lion King.
Oh my gosh, that's such a great one.
And I was wondering if the guy from Aladdin started this whole thing. Anyways, but my point is Disney is falling apart. It needs to change. People have alternatives these days, not only from bigger studios. Not only for all the big studios, but from all the other companies, small companies, independent companies, and even homemakers. Anyways, moving on. Now I'm getting this.
Okay. Yep. Sorry. Okay. Pirate 6. So this was the one. It was supposed to be Margot Robbie, but now it's not Margot Robbie. But maybe it is. Jerry Bruckheimer's saying it's going to be more of an ensemble, and that her spinoff isn't dead. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do we need it at all? No.
I don't know.
It could be good.
I didn't see the last one, so I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
The damage, if it was good or bad. Again, Disney. Anyways, just one quick one I didn't put there. I think HBO Max, Warner Brothers, is studying the possibility of merge with Discovery. So they're gonna be one place, Warner for fiction. HBO Max, and for reality, pseudo reality, Codes reality, Discovery, putting all together, and they studying it, changing the name to Max. That will be the name.
Does anybody care what they're called?
Well, I mean, they have to call something, right?
They do.
And HBO Max would not. It would people will think it's only HBO.
That's true.
Especially because HBO has some more quality, but they also has some more adult things. One Discovery has the opposite. Has the opposite. It
has Shark Week.
Sure, but it also has cooking shows and home show. I don't know, but I assume they have that. Anyways,
cool. Okay, not all is doom and gloom over at Disney. Marvel Studios is planning on bringing back Ultron.
Yeah, but there's more. The doom and gloom is
that
coming.
More doom and gloom?
Because that is linked to news this week that the studios will focus on quality over quantity, and because of that, they will delay Phase 4 and Phase 5.
See, you say that like it's a bad thing. It is a good thing. This is what we wanted Marvel to do.
That because of the failure of Phase. Wait, I said
Phase 4. So 5 and 6 are getting delayed
because of the failures of Phase 4.
Yeah, so they're learning, and I'm grateful for this. Let us be grateful.
Yeah, but I mean, sure. Let's hope they do learn and improve.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that's the case, sure, good thing.
Okay. Also a good thing, we saw the game of Guardians of the Galaxy trailer. I thought it looked pretty good and fun.
Yeah, it looks like the rest of them, like the other two. Mm-hmm. And let's see if they can do a better job with the villain. But again, it's Marvel, so not gonna happen. But it looks entertaining. It looks, Drax is stealing the whole thing again.
Yes. Yeah, it looks like it's everything the game Guardians of the Galaxy franchise has given us, like shenanigans, malarkey, classic rock, and then unexpectedly tearing your heart out, and then more shenanigans.
Yeah,
that's good.
What's that?
Okay, this is probably the last. This is James Gunn's baby, right?
Yes.
So this is probably his last one.
Most likely, yeah.
Because now he's over at DC, where what did he do to Wonder Woman 3?
So, James Gunn and Peter Safran that took over DC are working on a bunch of changes that they're gonna present the Warner Brothers heads this week. Mm-hmm. Among them was announced that Wonder Woman 3 No More was cancelled, not gonna happen. Yeah. But just today it was revealed on an exclusive, I think it was Variety, that the story is a little bit different, but actually Patty Jenkins left, and before she left a quote dictionary definition of character arc to the head of Warner Movies. Okay. Anyways, so she left, and that's why there will be no more Wonder Woman. But among other rumors, there's one that Jason Momoa will not return as Aquaman after Aquaman 2, but he would be Lobo on Lobo future movie. Let's see if I remember more. I think those are the big ones that I didn't I write anything about that?
Nope.
Yeah. But yeah, so they would present this to the studios. Yeah.
Okay, this is all promising. I'm willing to go
Oh,
on for this ride.
reboots. Oh, that's another one. I did wrote that. That the whole studios, the whole universe would suffer a soft reboot, so everything would be different to the point that now even Henry Cavill's Superman would be safe. So, but we'll see. There's a lot of rumors, and he did said quote one thing that was this is a fact. James Gunn said there's about the rumors out there. There's some that are true. There's some that are half true, and there's some that are not true. End of quote. But yeah, that doesn't say anything.
It doesn't. That's not helpful in the slightest. One thing that does seem to be true, though, is that Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. This is a film, right?
No, that is a video game.
It's a video game. Okay, well, it's going to include Kevin Conroy.
Yeah, it would be his last role as the voice of the Dark Knight.
Yes. And it looks like it's coming out May 23rd.
Yeah, finally. That's it's sticking.
Yeah.
But I guess, hopefully it will be good. Because, they're taking the time. They're working hard.
Yeah. Okay, we saw some cool trailers, including, first, a spin-off from The Boys. This is a college show called Gen V, and the trailer was exactly as bloody as you would expect.
Yeah, bloody and intense. Coming to Amazon soon.
Yes, so disturbing. Sometime next year, I think. There wasn't a date. Anyway, next, what will surely be a beloved classic, Cocaine Bear.
Yeah, this is a true story about a bear that ate a big stack of cocaine and got superpowers, apparently.
Yeah, just go, well, pretty much what you would expect if a bear eats several kilos of cocaine.
Yeah, so, yeah.
This
Starring Hunter Biden as the voice of the bear. No kidding. But that would be awesome.
Yeah.
No.
That'd be
don't
something.
pay that man to do
That wouldn't be awesome.
that
That would
kind
be,
of thing.
oh
Yeah,
my
no.
gosh. But it does star Carrie Russell.
Yes.
So that'll be fun.
Yes.
She's fun. Okay, we also saw a trailer for a new Tom Hanks movie, A Man Called Otto, based on a Norwegian book called A Man Called
Also
Ove.
a Norwegian movie. This is a remake. American version, and it's about this grumpy man that you old, you alone. Yeah, be grumpy is your right as an American or Norwegian.
Yes.
But life comes to him in different forms. Neighbors, family. I'm not sure they're family, right? They're neighbors, right?
Yeah, it's not his family. He does end up alone. His wife dies. He's
Yeah.
all alone. He has no purpose anymore.
And a cat. So yeah.
Yeah, and so then people. So it's thoughtful. It's well, and the trailer, from what we saw in the trailer, it does look to pretty closely follow at least the main events of the book. The book is very sweet and charming.
You
but
read the book? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I actually read a book.
Okay, so for the Retina Remake Review, you're actually gonna have a living witness.
I can speak with some tidbits of authority because I forget so many things.
But
anyway,
this movie
this does deal with some heavy stuff though, so trigger warning: unaliving oneself.
Yeah. Oh, maybe the movie they will sugarcoat that. Maybe.
No, it's in the trailer.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, this one is made by the guy that made Finding Neverland. What else I told you?
What was it? Finding Christopher Robin?
No, it's Christopher Robin is the name of the movie.
Okay.
Finding Neverland.
Stranger Than Fiction?
More Stranger Than Fiction.
Yeah.
And like movies that has heart and might make you sensitive souls. Like, oh,
so many feelings. You're gonna be so sad. You're gonna be so happy. You're gonna be so touched, heart-warmed, but despair. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Anyways.
Just be ready for that. Okay, you ready to be outraged and shocked and horrified?
What?
Jeopardy contestants.
Oh, you skipped the trailer. Skip Jedi Survivor.
Oh,
Is
shoot.
it there?
No, it was there.
Okay.
I must not
So
have.
another trailer you saw. It's fresh out of the video game awards event, or I can't remember the name.
Okay.
The sequel for Jedi Fallen Order, Jedi Survivor, following the adventures of Cal Kestis, Jedi Survivor of the Order 66. Finding his way in the universe. trying to survive during the Empire rule. And it looks like from the trailer he find another Jedi that's locked somewhere.
It sure seems like it.
And he has his old friends from the old from the previous game. And one lightsaber. Now they has two lightsabers. Now they have a Kylo Ren kind of lightsabers, which is cool, but it always feels like it's some suit of Disney's like put a lightsaber with guards there. It's still to justify the crap from the sequel because they do that. It's clear. Come on.
The lightsaber was so cool, and the only time the whole lightsaber with extras thing really worked was in the Phantom Menace when Darth Maul turns it, and then the second one comes out the side. But since then, they've all been like.
But that one is not even new. Leia uses one on the original, on the books, the Timothy Zahn books. But anyways, let's not.
But first, watch the movies.
But Jedi Survivor brings back more or less the same cast and looks intense and beautiful for next generation video games coming in May.
That sounds right.
May? That sounds way too soon. Yeah, May. Yeah. Oh, yeah, pre-order. Yeah, it's already on pre-order.
Okay.
Yeah, so May.
Okay. So, now to the outrage. Jeopardy contestants had no idea who Gene Kelly was?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
None of them. They all got it wrong.
So, two things here.
And the fans went bananas.
The tragic ignorance, but also none of these people have seen Singing in the Rain.
I mean, they could see the movie, but they didn't know the name of the actor.
Who it is? Even though it says it in very large letters in the opening credits that are very long.
Yeah, but it's a large name of someone that kind of died a long time ago.
That's true.
It's different than you see someone famous now, and then you're going to see it again. It's constant. It's alive and around. When we see only Singing in the Rain, that guy, and most people probably only know him from that. Don't know was it Paris?
American in Paris. I haven't seen that one, but
anyways, point in case. But yeah, we know Gene Kelly. He was delightful. He danced like
crazy talented.
Yeah.
Crazy talented. Okay, Reese Witherspoon is going to produce and star in an election sequel.
Oh, that's an exciting one.
Yeah.
You saw Election.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, it's the one about the high school what's it called? Student council election. Student body election. And she's running, and one of the guys, I think the leader of the commission is Matthew Broderick, and they end up having sex.
Yes.
It's whole obscure and dark. It's very, very interesting.
Okay.
It's a great movie, and to have a sequel based on a book from the same author, it's called. Did I put the name of the book there?
No, you didn't.
You Can't Win. I can't remember her name. Anyways.
Okay, well, it's going to be.
We look forward to that one.
Yeah, Paramount Plus. Mike Flanagan is working on a Stephen King TV series called The Dark Tower.
One of his very loved and acclaimed pieces. A book that became a comic book, eventually became a movie. People didn't like. I didn't see. I can't say anything about. But now it's going to become a show, and there's hope that this time it's going to be good.
Yeah. Okay. Celine Dion has revealed that she's got a rare neurological condition called stiff body syndrome. It's not good.
And she canceled her tour. She would come back to the stages to the to tour in February, but now she canceled. Unfortunately.
Yeah. So hopefully she can get better because it sounds horrible. Okay. The country music drama Monarch was canceled.
After one season, the show that looked like a country, what's it called? Empire,
Yeah.
That vibe, but yeah, it didn't last.
Yeah. Oh, well. George Newell, he's a co-creator for Schoolhouse Rock, has died at the age of 88.
I think I read he was the last one alive of the creators.
That would make sense. Schoolhouse Rock came out in like the 70s, I think.
Yeah.
So it's been a while. But they still, most of those little animations and songs still hold up.
Yeah.
And I will be using them.
Another one that passed away. Christy Allen passed away. She was 71 this week.
Right.
She was battling cancer. And both rest in peace and sentiments to the family.
Yes. Okay, the FTC is suing to block Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard.
Yeah, FTC is trying to stop this corporation to become bigger. But more details in the future.
Okay. Bob Odenkirk has confirmed.
Nobody 2 is happening.
Yes.
It's like the news itself is like he confirmed Nobody 2 is happening. Like he confirmed Nobody. It's like what? Oh, okay. Yeah.
That movie was so good.
Yeah.
So I'm quite happy about that. Let's finish with that one. So, okay, Frasier. They're doing a Frasier reboot at Paramount Plus. And
what's the name of the character?
Is that Miles? The brother?
Miles is not coming back.
David Hyde
Pierce is not coming back.
Yeah.
That sucks because the chemistry between them was most of the show, I would say.
It was a lot of it. And very funny. He was definitely the butt of many a joke. Yeah. Jackie Chan has confirmed a Rush Hour 4.
4. If you've never seen any of the other 3, you should go see it. It's,
When was the last one? I feel like it's been a while.
Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Good. Okay. Last but not least is the time of the show where we bring facts, history, as reality. Only reality can realize in front of your real eyes. Right here.
Okay, so scientists in Siberia have uncovered a, quote, zombie virus that's been frozen in the permafrost for 50,000 years. They've taken it out. They've replicated it. It's doing great.
Why?
Great question. Apparently it can teach us things about the past, but if the past has taught us anything, it's don't dig out the zombie virus and resurrect it. Especially the zombie virus that's in Russia. Definitely not the Russian zombie virus.
Yes.
If nobody has written that disaster movie yet, well, now's the time. Because it's all about to happen for real, and it won't be a fun movie anymore.
And you already had the virus that caused, the whole mess.
Yeah.
In the entire planet. Why bring more?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. If they said right away, it's like, oh, we're bringing this to find a cure. No, apparently that's not the goal.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, well, scientists always be wanting to. Every scientist needs an Ian Malcolm to follow them around and be like, yes, but should you? We know you could, but should you? Has anyone asked this yet? Should you do the thing? Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park.
Anyways, I guess that's it for this episode. For this week, see you next week with more. I don't know, we're going to see Avatar next week. I don't know what's going to happen.
Violet Night?
We'll see.
Okay.
May the force be with you.
Live long and prosper.
Bye.
Bye.